Hi, I'm Bill the Geek, broadcasting not live from Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Hey, another day. Are you happy? Today, I want to talk about accidents and how accidents can change your whole business structure. You're starting in a business, or maybe you're in the middle of a business. I mean, it's all working at home. It's all on the fly. You have a focus as far as where you're trying to go. You have a service, a product that you are offering, sharing with people. Maybe it's not working at all. And if it's working, why fix it? Hey. But I just wanted to share a couple of accidents that turned into major business successes for me in two businesses that I had. And I just want to share these with you briefly. Why? Because sometimes even things can be going well and you get a feeling, a hunch to do something, and it can change your whole business structure in a very good way. And the reason I'm really bringing this up is I want to share with folks, be open to change. Be open to that hunch that says, okay, I'm going to try this. So in a nutshell, the first, I'm going to say my second business, I was writing and illustrating children's books, and I had the opportunity, I had the urge, I wanted to make the world a better place, producing literature for children, the people that maybe I could influence the most. So, you know, my first run of books had come out. I was self-published. That was an experience in itself. And so the promotion was going okay, and I was sitting around kind of thinking about, well, how can I get the word out on this? Da-da-da-da. You know, I really want this message. The book was Reading is Important. How can I spread the message on reading is important? Okay. So something hit me. I said, well, maybe I should call some elementary schools and see if I could go in. Because I did all my illustrations on computer, which was unique at the time. Nobody was doing that in the country, maybe in the world. So something told me, well, let me get in front of some educators. So for some reason I'm a professional telemarketer. So I called one of the schools, was in Columbus, Ohio. And this principal agreed to meet with me. So I packed up my hard drive, my little monitor way back then, which is a color monitor. I went and shied my book, and I showed her out. I drawed the pictures on the computer. And she looked at me, and I'm in her office, and she says, can you wait a minute? And so she brings the guidance counselor in, so I show him, and she says, well, show her what you just showed me. And I drew the pictures on the computer, and I copied and pasted images on the computer, moved it around, went through the writing process. And then can you hold on a second, she says. And they bring the librarian in, and over the period of like 45 minutes, all of a sudden I went from just the principal, there were like 4 or 5 people sitting in the room, okay? And I'd done the same song and dance. It wasn't a prepared stick. And then finally, everybody was like, wow. Ooh. And then finally, the principal says, well, Bill, how much would you charge to come in and show all of our kids how you do this? And you know, the theme was reading is important. I wanted to make the world a better place, and I'm thinking, well, you know, I don't want to. I mean, how can I go and charge people to talk about reading is important, okay, and show them how to draw pictures on the computer? And I said, well, okay, well, I live in Cincinnati. I got to drive down, drive back. You know, I got to pay for gas. So how about $150? I'll come down and show you these. I'll show you and your kids how I'm doing this. $150. It's like 400 kids, okay? And she says, okay, and everybody agreed, okay, $150. So then I'm packing up the hard drive, the monitor, and the stuff I brought with me, taking it to the car. And she says, Bill, in the future, you write and you illustrate all of this stuff. And for what it's worth, author illustrators, elementary schools pay people anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 a day to go into schools and do this. And it was a total shock to me. I offered $150. I could have been getting $1,000 to $1,500. And for the next 15 years, I went into like, oh gosh, about 40 to 50 elementary schools all around the country. It was a wonderful thing. I would go in and share that reading is important, show them how to do computer graphics, things like that. And then I would sell my books and autograph them for the kids. Some days it was a $3,000 to $4,000 day. I appreciated being with the students. I appreciated getting the message out that reading is important. But at the end of the day, all over the country, it was like cash. It was like unbelievable. Another accident I had with another business, because I got a divorce at the end of the 15 years, and that kind of wrecked everything. Shut down. So what happened? My second business was just teaching adults how to do computer graphics. So, I taught advanced computer graphics, web design, all the, video editing, image manipulation, animation, code. I was teaching that to corporations in San Francisco. I was teaching people like the Gap, Sony, Wells Fargo, all the big swingers out in Silicon Valley. So I really had to know my stuff well. So by accident, a friend of mine offered me to go to dinner with this friend of his, and she was the vice president of some division of Citigroup. She says, what do you do? I teach animation, Flash. And she says, can you teach our designers how to do that? I said, well, fine. But she's in New York. I'm in San Francisco. She says, well, that's fine. We can just do that screen sharing, and they can see your computer. You can hear them, da, da, da. So for 4 months, I would be at the school where I was teaching at 4 o'clock in the morning so that I could meet with her designers in New York, teaching them. I had 3 of them with all separate computers. And I taught them stuff, and I charged them a really good fee. I'm in San Francisco, they're in New York. So then I ended up, it was kind of the accident is that I figured, well, I could kind of do this anywhere in the world. So I started marketing on Craigslist nationally, which Craig shut that down. Craig likes to make money internationally. He don't like other people to. So I would post ads all over the country, and I got students from all over the United States teaching them Photoshop, Illustrator, HTML, CSS, Dreamweaver, some WordPress. To this day, I still pick up clients doing that. That was a total accident. I never would have imagined that that's a twist that the business would take. So your business is running, but be open. I've got to say, I'm running at almost 9 minutes here, which I really don't like to do, but I've got to say that when I was doing the on-road, in-school stuff, when I was teaching one-on-one my clients, even though I was teaching and sharing information, I'm always learning information from my clients. And to be very honest, I've got to say that 90% of the money that I made came from ideas that came right from my clients by accident. My client wants to know this. My client wants to know this. This person wants to know that. This person wants to know that. And then a little bell goes off. People want to know about this. People want to know about that. And my industry was very specific. When I was working with schools, it was about writing and digital publishing. So that could be web development, video editing, whatever, and they would have different needs, and one client would give me one idea. Next day I'm showing up at a conference talking to 600 superintendents about blah, an idea that came from so-and-so, and I've got a speaking engagement. I'm making like $1,000 to talk for 45 minutes. So listen to your clients, listen to yourself, and there's a weird kind of flow that goes through. So you may have your idea of what you want to get done and where you want to go, but be open, be flexible, be listening to your clientele and to the source that's out there. And very wonderful, magical things can happen that can take you way beyond whatever it is in the way of success that you're moving towards right now.